Hi there, welcome to this week's video blog. Today I want to touch a little bit about transitioning to one nap a day. I noticed on the blog there were quite a few of you expressing a little bit of concern with the transition from 2 naps to one. Now first I want to give you a couple of hints on what to watch for signs that your child's ready for the switch. What normally happens is the first nap of the day is great. And in fact, it might be even better than it's ever been. Nice and long, goes down well. But then the afternoon nap rolls around and there's a lot of fight. Either she fights the whole thing, or she plays in her crib, or she only sleeps for 20 minutes. And if that's happening roughly 3 or 4 times a week, those are some pretty good indicators that your child's ready to move to one nap a day. Now, one of the things I noticed from our viewers was that they'd made the transition to one nap a day, but their child wasn't sleeping long enough. So that's very common. Whenever we make significant changes to our body rhythm of how we are used to sleeping, it usually takes at least 4 weeks for the body to adjust. So at first it's a bit alarming if your child's only taking an hour nap once a day, but I want you to give it time. I want you to hang in there, and after the first couple of weeks you'll notice that the naps start getting nice and long. And what I'd love to see for an afternoon nap, just one nap a day, is about a 2 to even 3 hour nap. And you'll get there, you just need to be patient with it. So what can you do in the meantime though to kind of take the edge off a little bit? Well, first of all, my very best advice is once you've made the decision to move to one nap a day, you need to stick to it. I find that if you waffle back and forth between 2 naps some days, 1 nap the other day, it's going to be much harder for your baby's body rhythm to get in line with what's the new routine. So the faster you move into things and the more consistent you are with them, the better able your baby's body is to get in line with what's happening. So again, most things, if you know me well, I say it's kind of an all or nothing. Once you've made the choice, you've got to stick to it, even if that means you have a rough couple of days as you begin the transition. But you could, if the naps are not yet long enough, what tends to happen then is, she naps from noon until 1, and you can't get her to go back to sleep after that, then what are you going to do for the rest of your day to get her through until bedtime? And so my advice would be, around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe go out for a drive or a bit of a walk. And if she takes a 20, 30-minute cat nap in the car or the stroller, that's okay. Now, again, if you know me, I'm very against stroller and car seat sleep. I don't think it's good quality sleep. But in this particular instance, I think it's fine just to take the edge off a bit so that you can get your toddler to their regular bedtime or close to it without too much overtiredness, okay? Because if you push her through all day long without any kind of rest, you might find that when bedtime rolls around, she's so overtired that it's a struggle, okay? And she has a hard time settling down and getting into sleep. So that should help take the edge off just a little bit. Now, another thing you can do in the transition is move bedtime a little bit earlier. So if she's normally in her crib for 7 o'clock, you can move that to 6:30 for a few weeks even to help take the edge off a bit. Again, overtiredness is something you should always be watching out for, and that can just help ease some of this fatigue that may be setting in. Okay? Now, one last thing before I set you free is if you're transitioning to one nap, be careful not to make too big of a push from morning nap down to where it should be. Ideally, 12:30 is a perfect time for one nap a day, but if she's usually napping at 10, jumping all the way to 12:30 might be too much of a push for her. So you're going to need to ease into this gradually. And my advice is 30-minute increments every 3 days until you get to the appropriate time, and then that's where it stays. Okay? So I hope that provides you with a little bit of guidance in this tricky time, but hang in there. 4 weeks later, you're going to be seeing a great napper. Thanks, and sleep well.